Spin Dash Kit is one of the most interesting gadgets that we've gotten in the game up to this day. It's actually really interesting on the fact that it's a 3-slot kit and compared to something such as like Tech Drift, Friction Drift, you have Ring Game Boost, things of that nature that are about 2 slots or even 1-slot gadgets like Ring Engine. You have a 3-slot gadget that actually completely warps how you play the game. And this is a gadget that looks really fun on paper. From leaks, it looks stupid broken. And now that I've got my hands on it, can Spin Dash Kit compete? Is this a viable gadget to actually use, or is this gadget just a nothing burger? And let me tell you, the results, if you haven't seen them for yourselves, might shock you, or they may just be the most, yeah, no kidding, Destello, who cares? Unfortunately, this video is not going to be anything more than just talking about Spin Dash Kit, but I will show a couple funny interactions with Spin Dash Kit while I'm at it. So, let's get right into time trial, and let me showcase some time trial testing immediately with Spin Dash Kit. Moving into time trial right away with this kit, there's a couple things to realize. So, first of all, with Spin Dash Kit, one of the biggest things with it is the fact that when you use it, you get no drift charge as you drift. So if I hold the drift button, I'm getting nothing here. As you notice, I get nothing, and it lowers your speed all the way down from 184, 185 to 154, 155 roughly. It kind of jitters between 152 to 154, 155 range. So keep that in mind. So I'm going down 30 speed. Keep that in mind. You go down 30 speed just when you're drifting. So, because of this, it makes it really hard to use this. It's actually a much worse friction drift. Remember, friction drift only lowers your speed when it's activated like this by 10. That's it. So this is lowering your speed by 3 times the amount. Now the question is, what does it do when it lowers your speed by this much? Well, when you start drifting and you tap your accelerator, you start charging a drift. Now, you notice that I go up by 30 speed immediately as well on the other end. So you're going up by about 30-ish speed. If I'm wrong on this, I'll have a correction note up at the top. But as you notice, you go ridiculously fast. And it lasts a ridiculously long time. And then when it ends, you start charging up a new one. And you can counter back with your drifting. So you can counter back with drifting. And again, all this is you're kind of just getting a drift and you're driving in a straight line. You're kind of like playing full speed in Trackmania. So again, we'll notice the speed as soon as this ends. But, as you notice, 197, 198. If I charge this level 3. So if I charge this level 3. Going 232, 233 roughly. I believe that is without having to worry about... without the level 2. Actually, it does stack the level 2. So I'm going 222, 221 roughly with the level 3. Yeah, 221 to 223 with the level 3 active. And you can stack level 1s and stuff. So, again... and then you can do a level 2. And you get a ton of speed off of this. You can drift stack very easily with this gadget. It's not hard to drift stack with this. But you get a ridiculous amount of speed when you're drift stacking. It's kind of insane. But again, the biggest problem with it is the fact that you lose so much speed with it. One of the biggest things you'll notice when going into using this kit with other gadgets is it does get affected by drifting-based gadgets. So like Tech Drift and Quick Charge 2. You notice that I'm charging drifts very fast. I'm able to turn much better with Spin Dash Kit. I can turn very, very fast. And if you don't get that final last little bit of drifting, it doesn't really give you anything. But again, you do go pretty fast when it goes to when you get in the drift state, and you can maintain this for a long period of time. But the fact that you have to slow down, like you can't even take these turns fully. You have to take these turns starting at a really wide angle if you want to take them. But you'll notice, like, even with this, you can still take these pretty reasonably. But like, if you wanted to take a shortcut such as Wonder Museum's cut here, you got to start turning early to then be able to take it if you want to do this without drifting. So it does change up your lines, and it does change up your entire playstyle. But even with that in mind, this does come at a massive cost of going down by 30 speed just to get a drift. So this gadget, if you want to min-max it and make good use of it, you're gonna have to use gadgets such as Tech Drift and like Quick Charge 2 to get as much value as possible. So like with this, even with this turn, as you see, if you take it wide and start going through the turn at a wide angle, you can definitely get something off of it. But again, it is very inconsistent in terms of just how much value you get and just in general what it can do. But it does full drift stack. It does fully drift stack with all levels, and you can just do a level 1, level 2, and then start your turn wide, and then you can take it fully. Again, you do get a ton of speed, and it makes for a very fun gadget, and it does change up your playstyle. So if you hate snaking a ton and you want to kind of just drive forward and have a kind of a straight line driving vehicle combo, this is probably the gadget for you. And you can pop in a bunch of gadgets that are drift based that allows you to take these turns without having to do much else. And because of how much of a straight line you drive in, it's not too hard to get used to it. Not only that, you can go off ramps and things of that nature, actually get that drift charge as you land, just like with normal drifting. But again, this is a very hard setup to use consistently and properly. And even if you could use it consistently and properly, the problem is that the setup itself is just very flawed. There's a lot of issues with the gadget in and of itself that makes it a very flawed gadget, which is very, very unfortunate. And it really stinks because this gadget could be a lot better. It could be a lot more fun, but the slowdown is just so incredibly unnecessary, it feels like, that you do get unnecessary punishment for even using it. Now, this gadget does work with ultimate charge, so you can charge an ult charge, you can use perfect charge boost, you can use perfect charge bounty, things of that nature, and they all work. But unlike how your level 3s get multiplied by 5 times the duration, roughly, going from 3.5 to 17 seconds, unlike that, ult charge does not work that way. So, when you're charging an ult charge with Spin Dash Kit, that level 4 invincibility only lasts about a second and a half still. It doesn't last that massive duration. If it lasted any longer than it normally would, it could potentially be better. But what does last long is the level 4 boost itself. So the level 4 boost, as you see from the rainbow particles, it does last that full duration of 17 seconds roughly. So even though you're able to get this level 4 off and get the invincibility, you can get this level 4 in terms of the boost itself, then you can start charging for a level 3, but you see, like, you can constantly drift stack it all the way. So again, there's a lot of nuance here, and there's a lot of things here, but you can make some things work. Again, it's not particularly good, but I thought it was interesting to talk about nonetheless. And in general, when going through some of my race footage of messing around with this in Festival, you'll notice that, like, even when I'm doing good, I'm slowing down so tremendously, and even when I'm doing bad, I slow down even more to the point where it's like, it's impossible to legitimately do anything. Like, you get so much slowdown, and you get put into such a bad state that it makes it nearly impossible to fully utilize this gadget to any high-level degree, and it's very unfortunate for that reason. And the thing is, to even min-max on this gadget, you probably have to do something like Spin Dash Kit with like Quick Charge 2 or Tech Drift with like Slipstream Bounty, which is kind of a weird setup to begin with, and you have no built-in speed, so it's kind of hard to use it. Like, maybe if you did like Perfect Charge Bounty with Quick Charge 2 and Spin Dash Kit, or Ring Engine, Quick Charge Bounty, Spin Dash Kit, maybe you could make something fun work, but in general, this kit is very weak. It is strong in some aspects, and it's fun in some aspects, but in others, it's not only just weak, but it's completely unbelievable that it's this weak. Again, with Friction Drift, you're able to still drive relatively reasonably, and you're able to get out of that, like, minus 10 speed state very quickly, because you're going to be constantly getting level 3s. But with Spin Dash Kit, not only do you go down by 30 speed no matter when you use it, and it doesn't get counteracted that easily. On top of that, one of the nicest things, at least for it, is that if you do get a level 3 off and then you have to re-drift, you don't just lose your level 3, you just get slowed down. That's all that happens. You don't have to worry about losing that level 3 you just popped, so that is a good thing about it. But in general, with the fact that Spin Dash Kit not only slows you by so much, and it takes pretty long to get that level 3, you can't just mash your button really fast and charge it all the way up. And you'll notice that when I was TTing this as soon as I got it, you'll notice I was spamming my button and I was getting my drifts really slowly. The devs thought ahead and knew that people that actually were really good at mashing their accelerator could actually deal with this and would actually be able to min-max this in such a way that'd be completely different from other players. There was some thought behind this, and some thought behind the entirety of the idea of making Spin Dash Kit even work. Now, there could be some hidden tech that we don't know about just yet, but I really don't think that this kit's going to be good. I am very sad to say that. This kit is, unfortunately, a pretty bad gadget overall. It is very fun. It does change your playstyle up, and if you like being able to just drive without having the snake, this gadget will actually allow you to do that. But in terms of, like, competitive meta, absolutely not. It is a 100% dead gadget. For competitive, for casual play, very fun gadget. You can definitely make it work, and you can definitely have some fun with it, but do not expect to see super consistent results with it, unfortunately, just because of how it is as a gadget, how it's set up, things of that nature. It's very unfortunate. It isn't something like how Ring Engines, when they first came out, were just insanely strong, and they were just unbelievably broken. Where Spin Dash Kit coming out is just kind of unbelievably weak, which feels sad. If the speed loss was only by 10 instead of 30, I honestly think Spin Dash Kit could actually be a good gadget. Not a great, not an amazing, not a top tier, but it could be a good one. But unfortunately, because it goes down to minus 30 instead of minus 10 only, It is not only just bad, it is unfortunately horrible for that reason. But that is specifically in the terms of you using it in anything higher than like casual intermediate play and you're just having fun with the gadget, which again, really sucks. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm very sad by Spin Dash Kit. I was really hoping this would be a very good gadget. Unfortunately, it is not, and the devs kind of killed it on release, which really stinks, because I was hoping to have something that would actually compete with the Ring engines. But it's very sad. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on Spin Dash Kit. Hopefully you guys enjoy using it. It is a shame that it is pretty bad because of the massive slowdown it provides, but otherwise, it does have some really fun stuff about it, and it does have some pretty interesting things about it that makes it really enjoyable. And even if it's a bad gadget in terms of competitive play, and it's not like the best gadget in terms of casual and for fun play, I'm going to be using it from time to time because I do like how it plays a little bit. I think it's really fun because it makes me feel like I'm playing a full speed course on Trackmania. It feels so nice for that reason. But anyways, have yourselves a great one. I'll catch you in the next video. This is literally the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. Do not use Tortoise. That is what this build's called. I do not recommend this.